A big hand for our keynote speakers. And without further delay, I request our keynote speaker, please come over the stage and please deliver your keynote presentation.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Mr. Honorable Minister Chowdhury. Good morning, Mr. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Ali Musaman. Good morning, Professor Fatima, Chair of the conference. Dear Honorable Deans of different faculties of BUTEX, dear Head of Institutes of BUTEX University, dear guests from GIZ, thank you very much for founding our health project and our HEST project in the past. Thank you very much, dear Dr. Abbas, dear professors, dear students. It's a big pleasure for me today to be the keynote speaker. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm quite happy to be here. We have a long-lasting cooperation between BUTEX University and Hove University. In April, we invited guests from BUTEX University to join Hove University, and there was an MOU signed between BUTEX and Hove University to deepen the cooperation. I hope we have possibilities in the future to have more cooperation. Thank you very much. So today I would like to give a short presentation about sustainability, and I think, in my opinion, sustainability is the future of the textile business. Later we will see why this is very important. It's not working. Okay, it's on. Okay, so at the beginning, I would like to give you, then I will talk to you about the basics of sustainability. Then I will give an overview how to implement sustainability in textile production. Then I would like to give a short overview about legislative trends in Europe and in Germany because of the Green Deal of the European Community. And at the end, I will give a short summary to my presentation. Introduction of Hove University. Textile business has a very long tradition in Germany and Europe. University of Applied Science, our mother university, was founded 1996, around 27 years ago. At that time, Hove University has two campuses, Hove and Münchberg. But Münchberg, the campus of textile competence, was founded earlier, so we are one of the oldest textile university in Germany. We are founded 167 years ago as Royal Bavarian College for Textile Engineers for Weaving Industries. Since 2000, Campus Münchberg has been part of University of Applied Science Hove. And this is very important for us. Here at the same place in Münchberg, there is also the vocational training for the workers in textile industry for the state of Bavaria. So we have a very good cooperation also with this vocational training for workers. we are using the same buildings, the same laboratories, and we have a very good cooperation. Basics of sustainability. When you look to the internet, here it's a little bit a pity we have no universal agreed definition of that, what sustainability means. We can find some different definitions for sustainability or sustainable development. One very well known is the Brundtland report for the World Commission of Environment and Development, 1992. Development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. And we have a definition of the World Commission on Environment and Development, a process of change in which the exploitation of resources, the direction of investments, the orientation of technology development in institutional chains are all in harmony and enhance both current and future potential to meet human needs and aspirations. Here in this picture we can see what are the three pillars of sustainability: social, environment and economic. When we have the crossing of all three pillars here in the middle, we have here sustainability. This is very important. Often when we look, especially last month when we visited textile fair in Frankfurt, we often concentrate only on economic and environment. But very important also is to include the social component in sustainability. This, I think, is very important, and we should not forget to have also the social component in our work for sustainability. Here, very important as aims or goals for sustainability are the 17 sustainability goals of the United Nations. Here for us very important are quality education as academic university. This is very important to have well-trained engineers, well-trained research workers for the future. Also very important is the gender equality. Here we have to see also the climate actions to save energy and resources. Also very important is responsible consumption and production. Here, I think for the consumer, we have to have a little bit a change in mind. Also, we have to attract the consumer to buy sustainable products. This has to be also a shift in mind for the markets in Europe and in the States to look more for sustainable products. Also very important is the partnership for the goals together with goal number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. So very important is not only the academic theoretical training on sustainable issues. Also in my important, it's very important to have a very good cooperation to the local textile industry, to work together with the local industry to create sustainable processes for textile finish, textile producing and garment making. And I know from the last visits here at Butex University, Butex University has a very good cooperation with the local textile industry, and I think it's a very good for your students to look in the textile industry to see how to transfer theoretical knowledge also in practical end use to save resources and to reduce consumption of products. Little bit problem for sustainability in the past, the so-called snares of sustainability. Here we will later see we have not to look to monocausalic solutions, we have to look to a system orientation, especially when we see here there is sometimes a little bit confusion in the market when we talk about biological degradable polymers and polymers from natural raw materials, so-called bio-based polymers. Bio-based polymers are not often biodegradable. We have to very clear differentiate here biodegradation and bio-based product. This is very important. Also in Europe, there was a long discussion for replacement of plastic bags for single use from paper bags. But when we look to the whole life cycle of a paper bag for single use, then we will see the impact on environment is higher than the impact on environment of a plastic bag if we have a recycling of a plastic bag. This is very important to know. Not all monocausalic solutions are good for sustainability. Here, when we visited also here dye houses in Bangladesh and also dye houses in Germany, we often see green cotton, bio cotton, but here we have to look very deeply how is the water consumption, the consumption of energy, the consumption of dyestuffs. In comparison, if we use, for example, recycled man-made fibers, maybe we have an advantage if we use the recycled man-made fibers because they have maybe a lower impact on the environment. Usage of natural dyestuff and bioethanol as fuel and rapeseed oil methyl ester as fuel. Here we have to take in consideration also we need land to grow the plants to produce such bio-based fuels here. So, and we have a direct competition between food production and production of fuel. And in my opinion, food production has the highest priority. We have to look very deep on this item. Another point we discussed very deep last times was the usage of fatty alcohol ethoxylates as non-ionic detergents. These products have a very superior biodegradation in ETB, 95 to 98%, the best values for surfactants, but without ETB we have a big problem. These products are highly fish toxic in sweet and salt water. If you have no ETB, you will kill all fish in the rivers and seas. How to implement sustainability in textile production. Here you see it's not so easy, but here we have to look to the system orientation, how to implement sustainability. When we see here the textile production chain, so very important is we have to look stepwise on every production step of the chain, and we have to analyze for production, we have to identify production step, we have to select production step. Here we have to look for output reduction and optimization, and for future it will be very important is chemical management, to have a digital inventory of all used chemicals, of all outlets, of all energy consumption and water consumption. Later on we will see why this becomes in the future very important to look here more on computerization, more on digitalization of the textile process. Also very important here, when we look to the input to the textile production chain, very important from the social pillar of sustainability. We also have to look for the human resources in the companies, to have well-trained, well-educated workers, to help the workers, to educate the workers, and also here we have to have gender equality also in the management. From the outside we see we have a lot of requirements. First, you would like to sell your products to the industry. Here very important is the quality requirements you have to fill, also the shade quality and fastness, and also very important is the right first time production to have a very good reproducibility in bulk to bulk production, in lab to bulk production. This is very important. When we look to legal and other requirements, we see, especially from the point of view from Europe, we have REACH and SVHC to observe. We have to look worker protection. I know GIZ is giving a lot of courses for worker protection, also for safety management in companies. Here we have to think about eco-labels. Also a big concern are zero discharge of hazardous chemicals and zero discharge of liquids. And new, I will later come next slides to that, is the new ESBR regulation from the European Community. Here, very important from the point of view of system orientation is no end of pipe thinking. Here we have to have knowledge about the possible components of wastewater. This can be made by digital chemical management tools, by calculation of the effluent due to the chemical inventory. We can reduce the amount of wastewater because of separation of heavy polluted water and gray water recycling. Yesterday we visited a company here, a dye house close to Dhaka. Here they save a lot of water. They can reduce the water used 80 liters per each kilogram fabric. They are able to reduce their water consumption, means also to reduce the amount of wastewater. This is very important. Then later on we have to think about renewable fibers, auxiliaries and dyestuffs, and we have also think about resource efficient production to save energy, to have a high production and a high output and a high quality. New legislative trends in Europe and Germany. This will affect also your country because you are highly export oriented textile production. Starting December last year, we have a new regulation. This is the so-called ESBR, Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation. This is the umbrella. Under this umbrella, we have all other regulations. At the moment in Europe, we are talking about restrictions in PFAS. We are talking about bisphenols. we are talking about thin sensitizing chemicals in dispersed dyes, and very important, end of this year it comes to in force is the new European Recycling Directive, not only for pre-consumer waste but also for post-consumer waste. This is very important for Germany and Europe. All textile waste from consumer has to be collected, retreated, reused and recycled, but not transported all over the world. This recycling has to be done in Europe directly. And we will have the so-called CSDDD as a corporate due diligence obligation for the companies by the European Union. This is come stepwise into force. At the moment we have a German law for that, but this will be not replaced because this German law is a little bit more strict than the European CSDDD regulation. What is very important for this ESBR regulation? Here there is a framework for a wide range of requirements. This will be influence the textile production. Very important is here to, if you design a new textile fabric, you have to think about the requirements. This also impacts not only the technicians, also the design department, the garment maker have to think about how to fulfill the requirements. Very important here, number one is the product durability, reusability, upgradability and repairability, not to throw away all the textile waste. We have to think to reuse it, to find ways to repair it, and we should have to upgrade it. Very important for me as textile chemist and dyer is the second sentence here, the presence of substances that inhibit circularity. When we use different substances, may listed and the SVHC list of substances very high concern. We have to think about in the future how it will be influence the recycling process and the reuse process. Then we have to think about energy and resource efficiency. We have to think about the carbon and environmental footprint, and we have to give the customer a so-called digital product passport. He can see how sustainable was the production of the fabric. And here helps the digitalization, the chemical inventory, the analysis of the chemical production to fulfill this requirement. If you fill in this digital databases, you can easily provide such a digital product passport. Also very important is you have to increase the content of recycled fibers in textile fabrics. If it is recycled man-made fibers or recycled natural fibers, here is very important to become a stepwise increase of the recycling content. Here you see these are the key actions in the textile strategy of the European community. This is very important. Here, new is to create design requirements for textiles. So if we plan or produce a new textile product, we have to look for the design requirements. We have to look for the digital product passport. this is a big chance for you as youngsters or students to get new job opportunities in the textile industry. We should tackle greenwashing. Very important is also the release of microplastic, and very important together with the recycling directive is the restriction of export textile waste and to outside European community. You see, we have to do a big job in the future. Therefore, in my opinion, very important is to implement deeper and deeper sustainability in our academic training for the students, in the academic education of the students, also in the daily work for the chemical factories. But also, and it's our job for Europe, we have to convince the customer to buy more sustainable products, to look especially on not only on the function but also on the sustainability of the textile products. And I would like to close with a word of Mahatma Gandhi. The future depends on what we do today, so we should not think about to start tomorrow, to start the next week, the next year. We start today to implement more sustainability in our daily business, in our academic education, and also in our mindset for the consumers. Thank you very much for your attention. Yeah.
So thank you so much, our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Michael Rao, for your nice presentation, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the session. Now it's time for question and answer, and for that we have some volunteers there, so I hope that you have lots of questions in mind, since this topic is the buzzword now. So now we will take the question and Professor Dr. Rao will answer your question. So
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
Hopefully.
So questions, please. Somebody has to start.
Hello. Hello, Professor. Good to see you here in Bangladesh. The question to you is how this sustainability due diligence, the legislation that is coming up, will be affecting producing countries like Bangladesh and others. Do you understand my?
Yeah, not so real.
So how this due diligence legislation will affect Bangladesh?
You can start from here and then.
So I think since the last 6 years, I have seen a very big progress in the textile production, in the mind setting also here in Bangladesh, to be more keen on sustainable production, to implement this also in the mind of the owner of the textile factories, but I see also more implementation in the academic education for the students, and I think this is very important to have this system orientation to implement this sustainability to textile production, and this will also interdisciplinary effort of different disciplines, computer science, electronic, mechanical engineering together with textile engineering to become more system oriented view on the textile production and to implement the sustainability in the textile production.
So thank.
More? Do you have more questions? One.
So more question.
Good morning. Is there any certification of new legislation what you have, European Union going to, I mean like, there's new legislation for sustainability, no? So is there any certification for industries? Yeah. Any certification?
Yep. Yeah. At the moment, so the ESBR regulation starts. So it was December 2023. So also we in Europe have to define special benchmarks for this ESBR regulation. At the moment, we have a research project also with our university and together with other university in Germany and together with Hohenstein and Ökotex to define here benchmarks. Oh, back to screen. Yeah. Yep. Unknown error. Okay. Here, it's only mentioned in the regulation product durability. But what is product durability? Here we have to define standards for dimension stability, for washing fastness, for all other fastness levels. And this is the aim of this research project, to define the standards for that. So therefore, there is no real certification. So it is at the moment in progress, and we are also working in Europe on this problem, how to define these standards, to have a gold standard, a benchmark for the durability. And also, this sentence, substances which inhabit circularity, it is a, how to say, it's a devil's circle, because we have a problem. If we will have products with very high durability, with very high wash fastness, we have to use cross-linking polymers to create the wash fastness and to ensure the wash fastness. But maybe these cross-linking polymers will interfere with recycling. At the moment, there is no clear point of view, especially if you look to cotton. If we make easy care finish, if we make reactive dyeing with triple anchor or quattro anchor dye stuffs, and we create a cross-linking of cellulose, how to recycle it as viscose. So it's not clear at the moment, and we also in discussion with the European Committee and with Euratex to define standards for that. But this is in progress. Maybe the end will be 2030, then all should stand, but on the moment we are on the way to that. So therefore, there is no clear certificate at the moment. We have to wait for it. And also we need the research and scientific input to the policy to define such standards, benchmarks for this ESBR regulation. Okay?
So any more question? So more question?
There's one. Yep.
Hello. Hello,
Hello.
sir. Guten Morgen, sir.
Guten Morgen.
Ich bin Sadi.
Yeah.
Sir, my question is, there is some challenges to obtain sustainability, like climate change and other environmental factors. So, how can we overcome these challenges as we are a third world country member like Bangladesh, India, or subcontinent countries? So, countries like Germany or first world countries, they have backups and other measures, but in our country we face a lot of challenges, and to overcome that we often fail. So what's your suggestion about that?
Okay. So please do not underestimate the research efforts of your country and of your education training here in Bangladesh. When I have visited dye houses and factories here, they do a very great job. So this is very important. You are on a very good way for sustainability. In some cases, you did more efforts as in Germany, because when we talked on textile fair in Frankfurt to some chemical supplier and asking them about their products and the carbon and environmental footprint, they have also no answer to us. We are also on the same way. And I think very important is the cooperation between Germany as a big market, as a hub of innovation and chemical products, and you as user of the chemical products and also as researcher. Here together we can find a way, and I think it's not, how to say, it's a good challenge. Sometimes researcher and academia needs a challenge to get innovations in the daily business. And I think it's also a big change for your industry to develop new products. You have a very good textile industry. You have fibers you produce by yourself. Example, very interesting for us, also for reinforced products, maybe is jute fiber and products made from jute fiber or hemp. Here we have also a big market in Germany for technical textiles, and also there was a delegation of a lot of some textile companies on the textile fair in Frankfurt, so they also sell products to the market, and we are also very interested on fat products, because these best fibers like jute has a very good opportunity advanced in product durability and biodegradability. So I think, in my opinion, you are on a good way, and I think also for us it's a win-win situation to cooperate with Butex and other universities in Bangladesh to create more sustainability. Okay.
So, dear audience, we really understand that is your STEM interest on the sustainability. However, due to time constraint, we are not able to take any more question, but Professor Rao is available, and if you have some query, we request to contact him one-to-one.
Okay.
So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the interactive session. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request our Honorable Conference Chair and Vice Chancellor of Butex, Professor Dr. Shah Alimuzzaman Sir, along with our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Michael Rauch of University of Applied Science, Mr. Varna Lange, coordinator of Textile Cluster GIZ, and our organizing chair, Professor Dr. Ummul Khair Fatima, Dean Faculty of Textile Chemical Engineering, to come over the stage and occupy the distinguished chairs. Please, sir, come over the stage and occupy the distinguished chair. Let us put our hands together to welcome our guests to the stage, to come over the stage. Thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to convey our sincere gratitude to GIZ for all the support we got from them throughout the conference. And now, I would like to consider it a great honor to invite one of the distinguished representatives of GIZ, Mr. Varna Lange, Coordinator, Textile Cluster, to come over the dais and deliver a few words for us. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. Dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Shah, Professor Fatima, Professor Abbas, Deans, faculty members, Professor Rauch, Dr. Schmalz, students, not to forget Christian. A warm welcome from my side. When I was picked up this morning by Christian and his team and Professor Rauch, I didn't know that I have to give a speech this morning. So please forgive me if it's not a proper one. But Professor Abbas surprised me and said, Werner, you have to say something. And yes, I have to say something, and I'm honored to have the chance to say something to you, mainly to the students, because we heard already something about Mr. Gandhi, and I think you are forming the future. I think you will, and that is good. That is very good. So let me start to talk a bit about German Development Cooperation. We are embedded in a government-to-government cooperation. Both governments of our countries are committed to these sustainable goals, and of course it shapes development cooperation between Bangladesh and Germany. We as GIZ are working in Bangladesh, implementing projects jointly with our partners on behalf of the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development. And inside the GIZ as an organization, we have a setting here in Bangladesh which we call the textile cluster. I think we could also call it the sustainability cluster. But as already mentioned, the importance of ready-made garment and textile industry, everyone knows. Germany is a very strong partner. For many years, we're always competing with the United States to be #1 export destination. Currently, the US is #1, but both countries are representing a share of almost 10% from the exports of Bangladesh. 55% of the exports are reaching Europe. But from a German perspective, if we evaluate or calculate how big is the share from Bangladesh related to the entire imports of garments to Germany, we are talking about 20%. Or in other words, from a German perspective, you Bangladesh people, you Bangladesh industry are at least double important for us than we might be for you. I'm happy that some, let's say, visionary politicians already 10 years ago were strongly believing in this German approach of a textile cluster. And part of our activities which are also covering topics like introduction of an employment injury protection, just as one example. Also includes this project Higher Education and Leadership Development, where we have a cooperation almost since 4 years, where University of Hof and Butex are cooperating. I think this abbreviation of Higher Education and Leadership Development brings me to the next point, leadership. Of course, when you think about academia or university, I think the first what comes to your mind is research, knowledge, technology. But I think if we want to shape future, it's also a question about leadership. And I'm very often asked, Werner, where did you study? And I must admit, I only visited the University of Life. I've never seen in my education in my first years in a university. I started as a salesman. I ended up as a chief purchasing officer for a stock-listed company in Switzerland. But I'm also a father of 4, and meanwhile a grandfather of 7. And I must say sustainability, especially when we are talking about future, is something which really affects me as a human being. And I think this is what we have in mind, what we have in common, which gives sustainability sense. It is senseful. But of course, we also have to eat. We have to make money. We have to feed families. So business is always involved, and I liked very much the definition given by Professor Rauch in the beginning, this 3-bubble chart, which has some overlaps in these 3 words of viable, bearable, and equitable. And I must say, as I said, as a businessman, as a father, as a grandfather, as a representative of development cooperation, I think these 3 words are exactly touching what is relevant. Looking back to the Rana Plaza disaster, and I'm already wondering what's going on now. Do you feel uncomfortable hearing this word? Or are you, maybe it sounds strange, proud? I think very often these catastrophes are boosting development in many areas. And I would be personally very happy if this pain of the disaster would more and more perceived as something to be proud on. Because what Bangladesh has achieved in these last 10 years, especially when it comes to industrial safety, is tremendous. And I would always sign the safest factories in the world, probably not all, but the safest you will find in Bangladesh. This is the upside, but it has, to my mind, also a little downside. This strong focus from media, international community, strongly focusing on social compliance, left the environmental challenges somehow in the dark. And I'm happy that meanwhile we have, and Professor Rauch mentioned it already, this due diligence approach from the European Union, which holds the entrepreneurs, the buyers, responsible. Of course, it affects also manufacturers, but free riding, pouring waste somewhere into environment, all this is more and more becoming a crime. And I would say with these regulatory frameworks, it's also providing a kind of level playing field. And I think this has also a huge potential for Bangladesh, that this compliant manufacturing, sustainable manufacturing, and I think we are all convinced this is the future. Who is not following this logic, sooner or later will have to close down his or her business. This is the way forward. And here I would like to encourage you to support the industry. Very often we hear that the industry is claiming we have not enough educated workforce. And I think this link between academia, research, and practitioners really implementing what you study, what you know, where you know the way, the better way, to link that with the industry and with companies is, I think, very important. So the question is, I think, for every one of you, leadership, whom do you want to lead? What do you want to manage? And I would be happy if lots of you will also find their way out of the university into the factories, of course, in a well-paid task, in a well-paid job. This is what I wish you and wish your country, because this will improve everything. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Werner Lang, for your nice remarks. So now it's time to hand over some gifts, and that is arranged by the conference organizing team. We have arranged the 3 seedlings, and I request our Honorable VC Sir and also the conference chair to hand over the 3 seedlings to our honorable guest as I am announcing. So please, sir. And I am requesting our volunteer team to support us in this regard. So first, I request our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Michael Rao, to take the tree seedling from our Honorable VC Sir. স্যারকে দাও, সরে যাও। Thank you, sir. So next is Mr. Werner Lang, Textile Coordinator, GIZ Bangladesh. Next, I do request Mr. Christian Boschman, so please come over the stage and please accept your tree seedling from GIZ. Mr. Boschman from GIZ. And from the guest list, last but not the least, I would request Laura Sophie, please come over the stage and take the tree seedling from our Honorable VC Sir. Laura Sophie from GIZ. Thank you, sir. Now I would request our keynote speaker to hand over the tree to our Honorable VC, sir. Yes. Thank you so much. Group picture. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all the guests. So now for the rest, I hand over the mic to Jenny.
Thank you so much. Now it's time to wind up our program. Thank you all for your presence, which made the program amazing and interesting for us. We would like to thank you all for the encouragement, for listening to us, and most importantly, for giving us your precious time. Now it's my honor to invite the Honorable Conference Chair, Professor Dr. Shah Alimuzzaman, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Bangladesh University of Textiles, to come over the dais and deliver the closing speech of today's plenary session. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon, good morning to my dear audience. Supposed to the chief guest, Mr. Mohibul Hassan Chowdhury MP, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Education, Government People's Republic of Bangladesh, and keynote speaker, Michael Rauf, Hope University of Applied Science, Germany. It is a great pleasure to welcome you all to Bangladesh University of Textiles and this second international conference. This is a unique opportunity for us to come together and shape the future of sustainable textile development. As the conference chair, I am honored to address this forum and am really grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, the textile industry is vital due to its broad impact on economic, cultural, technological and environmental sphere. Economically, the textile industry generates employment and drives international trade, which is crucial for many economies. With approximately $47 billion in apparel export in financial year 2022-23, this industry makes up over 84.58% of the nation's exports and over 10% of the country's GDP. Bangladesh is the second largest apparel exporter after China, with over 6% of the world market. With more than 4.5 million direct jobs, the textile and apparel industry ranks second in employment generation after agriculture. Culturally, textile preserve heritage, reflecting tradition and identities. Being a member of the Muslim Renovation Project, I can proudly say that textiles are part of our tradition and we will not let them go. Technologically, studying textile foster innovation, leading to advanced materials and smart textiles with application in healthcare and beyond. The latest technological development such as AI and 4IR could be successfully implemented, although they are already being used to some extent in this sector. Environmentally, the textile industry is considered a heavily polluted industry, but has also given the opportunity to do some. Socially, textile enhance well-being through improved clothing and household items and support community development. by preserving traditional crafts and creating jobs. Educationally, it offers a diverse skill set, bridging technical and creative field. Aesthetically, textiles are central to fashion and artistic expression, enriching cultural identities. Thus, textile study is essential for economic growth, cultural preservation, technological advancement, environmental sustainability, and social well-being. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bangladesh University of the Textile, that's BUTEX, is pivotal in advancing Bangladesh textile sector, a cornerstone of the country's economy. Being over 100 years institution and offering a bachelor degree from 1978 and becoming a university in 2010, BUTEX provides specialized education and training, producing skilled professionals equipped with the latest knowledge in textile technology and management. Its research initiative drive innovation, helping to improve production techniques, enhance fabric quality, and promote sustainable practices within the industry. The university's strong industry linkage facilitate knowledge transfer and foster collaboration that address real-world challenges. With the ambition of being one of the top 1,000 universities in world ranking, BUTEX has taken the 2023 to 2032 10-year strategic plan. BUTEX also support the sector by offering consultancy services and conducting industry-specific research which directly impacts efficiency and competitiveness. BUTEX keeps professionals updated on global trend and technological advancement by organizing workshops, seminars, and conferences. Thus, BUTEX significantly contributes to developing and modernizing Bangladesh textile industry, ensuring its global competitiveness and fostering sustainable growth. Ladies and gentlemen, Second International Conference is a significant event that brings together professional, researchers, academics, and industry leaders to explore and discuss advancement, challenges, and innovation within the textile sector. These conferences are crucial for several reasons. The theme of the conference, Textile Processing, Sustainability, and Circularity, is appropriate for the current age, and you will be happy to know that BUTEX will open a master's course on sustainable textile next semester, which reflects our ongoing commitment towards academia-industry linkage. This conference provides a platform for disseminating the latest research findings, technological advancement, and industry trends, effectively bridging the gap between academia and industry. This exchange of information ensures that new knowledge is widely shared and applied. This conference facilitates valuable networking opportunities, enabling participants to build relationships, collaborate on projects, and share best practice, leading to new partnership and driving industry innovation. Additionally, International Conference on Textile Science and Engineering 2024 offers a forum for addressing common industry challenges such as sustainability, environmental impact, and supply chain issues, often resulting in practical solution and policy recommendation, where 34 papers, 12 posters have been received from more than 15 countries. It assists in building collaboration with other universities and organizations. For example, with our keynote speaker, Professor Michael Rauf, cooperation with Hope University will be enhanced. They also contribute to professional development by providing insights from expert speakers and engaging workshop, enhancing attendees' skill and knowledge. In addition, it emphasizes sustainable practices and innovation, promoting adopting eco-friendly technologies critical for reducing the environmental impact of textile production. However, ICTSE 2024 is vital for fostering innovation, collaboration, and continuous improvement in the textile industry. I believe there is no better way to ensure our response to the call for sustainable development is truly meaningful than to involve the people we aim to serve. This is important because the knowledge we generate, the innovation we come up with, and the technology we develop should go towards uplifting the lifestyle of the peoples we serve. Therefore, the outcomes of this conference will have no meaning unless they reach the end users or are put to practical use. Through our community service and outreach program, we can promote knowledge and technology transfer, thereby contributing towards realizing sustainable development. As I conclude, allow me to appreciate the support we have continued to receive from the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Industry, the University Grants Commission of Bangladesh, and the held GIZ project. Thank you very much for accepting to grace this occasion. Let me also appreciate our keynote speaker, Professor Michael Rauf, the participants, and all the guests. I also thank the Textile Chemical Engineering faculty and the conference organizing committee for successfully organizing the second international conference with great dedication and enthusiasm. I hope next year textile fashion and applied apparel engineering faculty will arrange third international conference on textile science and engineering. I wish you all a happy and successful gathering for the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable VC Sir and Conference Chair, for your nice remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the end of our plenary session, but before announce the ending, we have a couple of announcements. Our technical session will start sharp 11, and that will held in two venues. One is in the seminar room that is just beside this auditorium, and another one is in the academic building, the teachers' lounge, lift 12. I request our volunteers to take our distinguished guests to the conference room for the snacks break, and for all the others invited guests and the audience. At the left side of this auditorium, there is an arrangement for the refreshment, and we request you to enjoy the refreshment. And with this, we conclude our today's plenary session. Thank you so much for your presence, and thank you so much, guests, for all your time. See you soon in 11 a.m. with the technical session. Thank you.